evening. I am going to put my volume up. So, my name is Nix Marikuma. I am the owner of Marikuma Healing, where we heal our mind, body, soul, and heart, as well as learn about trauma and how to heal from that, right? Toxic relationship, abusive situation, things of that nature. We learn how to build ourselves up and get strong and heal from those experiences. So that way we can love others and also receive love for ourselves and love ourselves while we're going through it. We talk about mental, emotional, and physical disabilities, how to navigate those waters. One of them that I talk a lot about for my channel, right, my business, is glaucoma. Rest assured, we will go and do a brush up on the glaucoma vids. Right now, I'm just trying to get the 2026 year readings out of the way so that way it's accessible for everybody because some people have YouTube, some people have Facebook, some people have TikTok, and I'm trying to kind of get them all out of the way so that way I can be able to focus on other projects and things. Um, for you guys wondering what the 2026 readings are, right? It's me reading about what this year has been for you guys, as well as what next year is going to bring, where your career, finance, love life, friendship, family, and spiritual growth is going to be for 2026, as well as January through December, what they're going to bring, problems or obstacles you may be facing, solutions that could help you out, and the theme for 2026. So it takes quite a few times. It's a long, I think it's one of my most long readings, like the lengthiest of readings that I can do. But yeah, anyways, other than card readings, I use playing cards, by the way. I don't have tarot oracle decks on hand. But when I do get to have that, that'll be a kind of like a cool experience to transition from playing cards to oracle decks or tarots, right? Anywho, I also read palms. I read the personality that you have or somebody else has through their hands. I give out counseling and advice. I'm not a certified counselor, but I've counseled quite a few people while my business has been running. And when I say quite a few people, I would say, like, a good amount. Yeah. So, if you're interested in that or you need a counselor, it's $6 a week. You can pick the days and the time, and we'll work it from there. And it's $20 a month. It's 120 if you just want a year of it. Okay. Also, 240 if you want a year of card readings whenever you want. The longer readings are $20. The shorter readings are $6. I have Airtel, PayPal, and Zelle. Now that being said, we do a bunch of witchcraft videos about how to spiritually cleanse ourselves, protection, and things of that nature, chakras, auras, and more. So if those are the things that you're kind of interested in, please follow and subscribe for more. Now, without further ado, we're going to do part 2 of our Virgo readings. And for y'all who are going to figure this out, I have like 8 or so nails left. These ones don't have it. They popped off, so I'm going to have to glue them back on. Anywho, yeah, so we're talking about friendship on part 1, and that's kind of the one that I got out of, right? My sister needed me, so I cut that life short. I'm back now. So your friendship is all about communication, ethics, and introspection. I understand why you need to like learn to be open with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. When it comes to any connection, whether it's connection with family, friends, work, relationships, right? You have to have a relationship with yourself first, in my opinion. Because again, if you don't know how to treat yourself, how are you going to go over there and allow other people to treat you? And if you treat yourself poorly, you're most likely going to accept that from other people. Some of y'all going to look at me and be like, I treat myself like a queen. Yeah, I'm sure, Virgo, I'm sure. But sometimes we have bad days. You know what I mean? And sometimes things are just too much. You know what I mean? It's too much. And so, what are we going to do then? If you don't treat yourself right, work on that first before making friends. When you're having friends, I would advise you guys, if that's what you want to make for next year, right? You're like, well, I kind of been keeping to myself. I would like to meet more people and try new things and things of that nature. Communicate your needs. Be able to be with people that can talk back to you, right? They're not giving mixed messages and fucked up signals. It's ABC and one, two, three. There's somebody that is smart, okay? Because I don't think Virgos as a community, right? As Virgos as a whole, we really can't handle stupid people. 2026 is not the year that we're going to go to jail, guys. That's not what's going to happen. Due to the fact that we're just stuck with very ignorant people. So if you're going to have friends, have somebody you can communicate with. Have somebody that has your morals and values. And also understand what you are looking for in a friend. Understand what kind of connection you want to make and then work on that. Go to that route. But if you're not sure what kind of friend, if you had a friend, right? Like if you're how you treat people, ask yourself, is that how you want them to be treating you? Or do you prefer somebody with this, that, and the third? It's okay to be picky and take your time. Now, I know we talked about healing, forgiving yourself, working on your scars, and then working on your trauma responses and things. We got into that. 4, again, blocking people who are not worth your time. And 5, learning yourself again, loving yourself again. Because the person that you are in 2025 is not going to be the same person you are in 2026. The person that like I was when I came into this 2025 year is not the same woman before you, bro. It's not. I'm not that lady anymore. There's a lot of things that I had to like change and get rid of. And it was really uncomfortable, but I understand now that it was something that had to be done. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say it in like the lightest, most kindest way I can put it without saying that I just went through the fucking trenches. Trenches of like morals and my code. And then like understanding that there's some codes I was holding on to that it wasn't necessary anymore. If something happens to where that's my value, that has to change. And it wasn't even bad values. It was just kind of like sometimes you have to be rough, you know what I mean? You have to go over there and be just as like as hard as other people, even though that's not what you want. So hopefully that makes somewhat sense. But yeah. So after you're learning to love yourself, you're going to go over there and connect with people who are like minded and that match you really well and people that you see yourself connecting with. Obtaining resources, giving and receiving money has popped up so many times in part one. Virgo is out here getting money, bro. 2026 is the time that you're getting money and you're also making connections. But you're finding your balance with it. You're like, okay, well, if I'm gonna go connect with people, I want to make sure that I have my stuff before I go over there and get other people's stuff. But that's fine. You know what I mean? Like at least you're obtaining everything that you need. That means you're letting go of old stuff that are no longer working for you, and you're learning how to be independent and stand on your own. So the outcome of it is energy and disorganization. Make sure whatever you do, guys, the energy isn't funky. You're not just going over there doing absolute most and you're not really pacing yourself or organizing yourself or like really taking it in, okay? You can try different things and do different stuff. That's fine, all right? But don't overwhelm yourself. Have fun and work hard. All right. Now let's get to your spiritual, baby. Your spiritual is all about being carefree, romance, childishness, and irresponsibility. So, what's all that about? Okay. Carrying carrying burdens, responsibility, and debts. So this card is all about being overwhelmed and bombarded, okay? Remember how I just got done telling you guys that you can have your fun, right? But you need to make sure you plan and prepare yourself a little better because if you're doing this thing, then you're going this thing and doing that one over there, you have so much stuff that are piled upon you that is overwhelming and bombarding. So you don't want that, okay? It's okay to have fun, but you got to go about it in a smart way. Okay. So here's the cute part for y'all spiritual. Again, carrying burdens, responsibility, and debt is why we are out here being carefree and not being tied down to anything, right? Because if we don't, like, here's the thing, either you guys are dealing with it in a healthy way, or you're completely avoiding it. You're not, like, it's out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Like for me, if I take my glasses off and be like, well, it's out of sight, out of mind, I don't see it, so it doesn't exist. It's not real. I'm going to go over there and just kind of like avoid this topic. Running away from your problems is just going to make it worse. Okay. And I promise you, your problems will catch up. Like, don't go over there and thinking that, well, if I put it on the back burner enough, it will eventually solve itself. Plan your stuff wisely, okay? And if you guys are like Virgos like me, right? I am not an organized person. I wish I could tell everybody that I am. I'm not. I am messy and completely unorganized, but I can plan. Okay, if I know what the thing is, I can plan. I can go over there and get everything set up and ready. I'm a planner, but I'm not an organizer. It's a weird thing because I feel like if you're going to be one or the other, right, then you can be both. But no, right? So if you're going to go over there and do all these things, make sure that you plan ahead. Make sure you get yourself organized. Make sure that you're not going around doing the most. You don't have to do everything perfectly. And I know that that's kind of like a silly thing for another Virgo to tell other Virgos, right? But perfection is a lie, man. We don't have to be this alpha and omega thing. We don't have to be the highest of the high. As long as you're trying your best and you're doing what you can, that's all that really matters. Because at the end of the day, you're giving it your all. Okay? Now, what's going to help you with all this stress is going to be wisdom, patience, and diplomacy, which is, before I get into this is the same outcome for your career. We talked about it in part 1. We also talked about your theme for 2025. This is going to help you guys for 2026. Okay? And the outcome is the same theme for January, February, and March. Okay? So with patience, wisdom, and diplomacy, wisdom comes with experience. It does not come with age. There are a lot of people who are not smart and they can be very old. There are people who are not smart and they're very young. There's people who are smart and they're young or old. With experience, you gain wisdom and knowledge on how to handle things a lot better. You feel me? So, like I was saying, while we have experience through wisdom, we learn from our past, okay? Your past is a teacher. It gives you experiences. Through those experiences, you get wisdom. You get knowledge. Now, with patience, patience is taught. Not everybody has like a calm mind and a calm heart, right? And so when they do try to do things, and especially if they're like the controlling type, okay? If you are a controlling person or you are dealing with a controlling person, they will most likely not have patience because they can pretend to have the patience, but the patience is not there. You have to have a calm mind and a calm heart. You need to be able to be patient with yourself and to be patient with other people. Because not everybody's going to think the way that you think. Okay? Not everybody's going to see the obvious like you do. And because of that, it can be very annoying. I forget this from time to time. And I feel like my sisters remind me, like, hey, Mary, because that's what my family calls me, right? Or Nix, whatever's. they don't think the way that you do, bro. Like, you can't just go over there and expect everybody to do things the way that you do things. You know what I mean? Not how the world works. And I'm just like, you know what? You're right. I forgot. I forgot that it's not, you know, you guys aren't living in my world, okay? It's not my thing. So I should just, okay. But yeah, now diplomacy, right? Because again, we're talking about Virgo spirituality and things. Um, for diplomacy, it is all about compromising. And compromising doesn't mean you give up everything for another person all the time. That means you guys meet in the middle. You combine ideas, you take turns, or you simply agree to disagree. You know what I mean? Now, while you're learning to use that energy to help you carrying all that responsibility and being overwhelmed with everything, you are going to have an outcome of family contentment and joy, loved ones, happiness, and peace of mind. All right. Which is also going to allow you to be a little bit more carefree. Like, understand that you can work hard and play hard, Virgo. You don't have to go over there and play all day and not work, and then work all day and not have fun. You can have both. It just requires a little bit of balance. You know what I mean? All right, we are going to talk about January, February, and March. All right, babies. Man, y'all are really going to be fighting against this dysfunctional energy. That should have, I'm not even going to lie. That should have been your theme since it popped up so many times. You know what I mean? Oh, crap. Okay. It makes sense, but I don't like it. So here's the thing. Family contentment and joy is the theme for January, February, and March. Okay. So the first 3 months of 2026, we're stepping in with the theme being family, loved ones, right? Joy, happiness, and contentment, peace of mind. What's causing you to have this is all about spiritual growth and satisfaction. You guys, like, I'm just going to say it. The Nine of Hearts, the King of Hearts, and the Queen of Clovers and things have been like your major cards. And also the Ten of Spades and the Nine of Hearts. Again, the Ten of Spades is all about healing. The Nine of Hearts is about spiritual healing, okay? So when we're doing our shadow work and things, we're doing spiritual growth. Let nobody come and tell you guys that shadow work isn't important. In order to have peace, guys, with yourself, right? In order to love and have compassion for yourself, you have to do shadow work. Is it easy? No. Healing is not easy. I wish I could say that it is. It's not. The reason why it's not easy is because it requires you to look in the mirror. And I'm not talking about like a glance, like, oh my goodness, I have such pretty hair or whatever. I mean, like, really sit down and look at yourself for who you are, what you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. Shadow work is important. This is how you go about it. Okay. One of these days, I am going to make a whole video about, our higher, lower, middle selves. I have some books that kind of specify it, and I'm going to get into that soon. So, your lower self is where your pelvis is, okay? This is where your inner child is. This is also where your shadow self is. You ever heard of the expression, you bury your insecurities deep down inside, right? Your insecurities are just like right there. That's because all the things that you don't like gets pushed down to your lower self. It gets pushed down to your subconsciousness. Out of sight, out of mind, right? But when you bury your lower self, you also hold back things that you need to learn. When I say that the past is a teacher, right? You can run away from past experiences if you want, but at some point in time, you're going to have to face them. And when you do face them, you have to sit down and really see it for what it is. You have to feel those feelings, you have to understand the experience, and you have to know what they're trying to teach you. Now, your middle self, as I said, the higher, the lower, and the middle self, right? The middle self is like right here, if I'm correct, kind of around the sternum, maybe around like your stomach or intestine area. This is the one that is, I would say, because I'm just kind of rough drafting it, okay? We're just crash coursing through this. Think of a 19-year-old between 19 and 2020, like between 19 and 25, okay? That's what your middle self is. It's the person that talks to your lower self, so the inner child, and your higher self, which is not here, okay? It's not in your crown chakra, it's right here, just above your forehead. This is your higher self. It's not tied down to your physical, it's in the spiritual. It sees things and has wisdom and information from a higher power and divine power, telling you what's happening, what's going on, and it gives you intuition and gut feeling, okay? Now, if you listen to it, you'll be able to go through a lot of stuff. You have to be able to balance all of that. You can't just be in your higher power all day long, and you can't be in your lower self all day long, and you shouldn't be in your middle self for too long. It has to be able to pour into each other and also fill each other up. So my wisdom comes to my middle self goes to my lower self goes to the middle self goes to the high. And it kind of just goes in that way, right? It should be, if I remember correctly, like this. But yeah. So while we're working on our insecurities and we're working on our shortcomings and our flaws, we embrace that there's certain things that we're good at. We understand that there's some things we need to change. And we also accept that, things happen for whatever the reason may be. So I'm sorry, I keep seeing something in my glasses and I want to scratch. Yes, it's just a scratch. Okay, I'll ignore it then. But yeah, so work on your insecurities. Make sure you build yourself up. Okay, love yourself for your flaws as well as for your goodness. Your shadow self should not be something that you are afraid of, but it is something that needs to be faced. And it can be really scary because that's a side of you that's been ignored, that hasn't been loved, and hasn't been like accepted at all. So there's going to be a lot of resentment with that part of yourself because it's like all I ever did was protect you and all you ever did was shut me away. That's gonna be the kind of conversation you're gonna have with yourself when you're doing shadow work, but it is something that needs to be done. It is very important. Do not let anybody go there and be like, shadow work isn't. Yes, it is. In order to have like confidence within yourself and love yourself and be free, you have to do the shadow work. Your light self is compassionate and kind, and it has a lot of love and warmth to give. It loves your shadow. Your shadow protects your light. And with both of them on your side and that balance that you have within yourself, there's a lot of things you can tackle. All right, when it comes to satisfaction, again, please don't put happiness in materialistic things. Money can change, houses can get burned down, cars can get stolen. At the end of the day, when we die, we cannot take this with us. I don't know, like, here's the thing. I know that some people believe that you can take all your materialistic belongings with you into the afterlife. I don't know. I haven't crossed that threshold. I don't know if you can or not. Okay? But I can say this. At the end of the day, you came into this world with nothing and you're going to leave with nothing. You know what I mean? So if you're going to go over there and have satisfaction with memories, make joyful memories, have good experiences. Admire the fact that you woke up today, that you have air in your lungs, that you have a heart that's beating out blood, that you have people surrounding you that love you, that you get to try new things, that you get to have a new experience, that if it's a bad day, then it's only just a bad day today. Tomorrow can be something new, or it can always change for the better later on in the day. You know what I mean? It is needing, like, you do have to be optimistic. At the same time, you just have to make your own happiness. You know what I mean? We put our happiness in homes, homes can get destroyed. We put happiness in money, money can lose value. I'm not saying that homes and cars and money isn't important. It is absolutely important. You need to have those things. You need a car for transportation, you need a home to live under, right? You also need like a space for you to go to be able to have you time. Like, God help you if you're working all day long and that's all you ever do, bro. I've done the dead man shifts. I know how tedious and exhausting it is. It's not for the weak. So all I got is not for the weak. Anywho, yeah. So while you're doing that, making your own happiness, loving your goodness and your bad, embracing that duality within you, you're going to have a lot of peace. Now, it's not going to be peace right away, but you are going to get to that point where you're just more comfortable in your own skin because now you're learning and understanding yourself in a deeper level. All right? And you're not going over there putting your happiness into other people who can let you down. I love my friend. I love my family. And I'm sure they love me too. But sometimes they get on my nerves. My family drives me crazy sometimes. And I drive my family crazy at times. I'm not even going to be mean. I know for a fact I get on my mom's nerves sometimes. I do. But that's what family does. They're people, they're flawed. You know what I mean? And as much as we love each other, we can't put our happiness in people. Even the people you love will sometimes put you down. They don't mean to, they care about you, and they are trying their best. But when you make your own happiness, you don't have to go over there and worry about it being in a temporary thing because it can be a permanent thing. All right. Now, energy and disorganization, dysfunctional energy. You being able to manage your energy and your time, okay? Make sure that you're in a situation where it's not overwhelming. And if it is overwhelming, ask for help. Ask for help, Virgo. I got aggressive. Yes, I did. Was it in a mean way? No. But you got to be able to ask for help if you can't do things on your own. When I can't do things on my own, I ask for help. I asked for help after I tried it every which way. Granted, I can own that. Okay, before I didn't ask for help when, the first few tries. I probably asked for help like after like the 50,000th try. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, I can't do this. I need help. Can you give me an assistance, right? Can you give me a hand? Do you mind doing this for me for a second? Like, don't be afraid to do that. The reason I'm saying ask for help and things is because, like, I feel like Virgos and Taurus and Capricorns, like my earth babies, right? Not only just Virgos, but the Taurus and Capricorns too. We do things on our own by ourselves because yes, we like to be independent and do our own stuff. But at the same time, which I think is like a big reason, is because maybe in the past experience, you've asked for help and nothing happened, or people just kind of made it worse to the point where you're like, I'm never going to do that again, right? Because if you're going to just make it worse when I'm asking for help, then what are, like, not trying to be mean, I'm going to sound like an asshole, but what good are you? You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to make it better and you just made it worse. That means now you're going to bail on this project. I'm going to have to clean up your mess and the mess that was already at hand. And just tell me again, how does that make sense? How does that make any lick of sense, man, because it don't make a sense at all. It's not adding up. The calculations are not calculating. The math is not mathing. So I might as well just do things by myself on my own instead of asking for people to help me, because at the end of the day, people are just disappointing. Tell me that I'm wrong, though. Like, if y'all really feel that way, tell me that I'm wrong. Because I bet that's most of you guys that are watching this, because I know that's for me. I know at some point in time I used to ask for help, it didn't happen, and I'm like, you know what, I'll just do it by myself. And then I just kind of got stuck doing that. Did it make it easy? No. Did I do it anyways? Yup. But yeah, focus on your energy. Make sure that you're in situations that are organized and neat, not dysfunctional and chaotic. Now, if you're the kind of Virgo that runs on the madness, right? There's some of you guys that are just running with it. Like, once you find your rhythm and your beat, no matter how crazy the storm may be, y'all just ride it, right? You can thrive in the chaos. Then okay, do what you got to do, baby. But I don't think dysfunctional energy is going to help you with spiritual growth. So that's why I'm saying make sure that the energy that you're running with, right, for January, February, March is organized. Also, you may have to let go of some things. You're going to be grieving. Loss and despair is your outcome, because most likely it got just too much with the energy, with too much things happening all at the same time, and it's going to be overwhelming and just foreboding. Okay, it is okay to grieve. I also want you all to understand that grieving doesn't always, like, here's the thing, I'm going to be honest, but I'm going to try to be very nice. Some of you guys may lose somebody next year. Some. And maybe you lost somebody that was, you know, your mentor or your confidant or your golden girl, the person that always had your back. That could be it. And you are going to have to grieve. I think for the most part, you guys are going to be grieving about the old you. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you are not going to be the same person going into 2026 and leaving 2026. Just like you're not the same person that was entering 2025, right? And then we're leaving 2025. You are not the same. Everybody changed. Now, whether y'all change for the best or for the worst, that's up to you. There are pieces of myself I have grieved about. And I continue to still grieve because, like, again, this year really opened my eyes about things that I thought were like super easy, turning out that they have very complex meanings and like complex relationships, right? What's family really about? What are friends? What are partners? What are the kinds of people that I want to be in my life? And how to be okay with not really feeling guilty about cutting people out of my life, bro. I've cut out quite a few people this year, and I've recutted out people. And how can you recut somebody? You put them back in your life just to find out that you were right the first time not to engage with them. Sometimes giving people chances is not worth it. And I feel like you guys are going to be going through a lot of character development, Virgo. You are going to be changing who you are to be strong and balanced and to have fun and allow yourself to enjoy your life. But you are going through healing. You are going through spiritual growth. You are learning how to balance your time, energy, and effort wisely. You are learning how to use wisdom, patience, and diplomacy all through this year, and mainly all through next year. Like, a chunk of it is wisdom, patience, and diplomacy. So through experiences, we're going to learn. We are going to understand, and we're going to try our best, and we're going to be patient with ourselves because we're learning things every day. We're going to be patient with other people because people do not have our brain. They do not have our Virgo brain, bro. They don't have it. Some of them do, some of them do not. And if you think that you're going to go over there and be able to get somebody that thinks exactly like you, mm, it may not work the way that you want. You know what I mean? And I'm being like very sweet and very empathetic when I say this because I'm trying to put it down to you guys like gently. You have the right to grieve about your old self. You have the right to miss the old version of yourself and to build who you are right now. Okay? I mourn the old me. I do. I miss her. But I understand that she couldn't make it in this world the way that she is. And that through experiences and lots of motherfucking lessons, um, she's in a better place. She got me where she needed me to be, and now I'm just evolving and growing every day. Things aren't going to be the same. You know what I mean? So you have the right to be upset. You have the right to grieve about relationships you wish worked out. You have the right to grieve about situations and things that took pieces of you and that you can never get back. You have the right to be upset and angry and sad and mournful if you lost somebody very important to you and you're dealing with it. They will understand. Like, here's the thing, your loved ones will understand that you're grieving for them because you miss them and because you love them so much. Understand that grieving is just a form of love. When you have nowhere to put that love, it turns into grief. When love is betrayed, it turns into hate or anger. You know what I mean? When love is received and given back, it can grow and flourish into something beautiful. But love is the byproduct of a lot of other emotions, both good and bad. So while you're grieving about things that you wish worked out, okay, like I wish this relationship wasn't the way that it was. I wish that these people would understand where I'm coming from. I wish that I didn't get myself into this situation. I wish that, things ended up differently because you guys are really going to be out here putting boundaries on your family, making sure you're connecting with healthy people. And your love life, guys, top notch. It's really good. But the family and the friends, as well as the relationship you have with yourself, is so weird. But yeah, you guys are gonna be you're gonna be letting go of a lot of things that have been holding you back, okay? I'm going to say it. Your biggest problem is old opportunities, it's a loss of opportunities. You're losing old things. You got to let it go. You can't have the new stuff if you're trying to hold on to all the old things that you had. Sometimes old things are just tools to take you up a little bit, all right? Like wishing on a shooting star. Yes, wishing on a shooting star will help your dreams come true. But without any work, that's all that it is. It's going to be like it's right here. The star meant you halfway. Now it's your turn to work up and try to get to this, right? Sometimes old things help you get far enough to where you can just do things on your own. It was to help you. It's not there to be forever. So yeah, that's for January, February, and March. Now we're going to talk about April, May, and June. While we are grieving, like I said about loss of relationships, emotional detachment, and choices, you're going to detach from people emotionally. There are going to be certain habits that you're going to let go of and move on. All right? Choices are this. I want y'all to understand when I say this nicely. Whatever you decide to do will affect you. Not always does your decisions affect you alone. It can also affect your family and friends. So, for example, okay, I'm trying so hard to be nice. I'm not angry at you, Virgo. I just don't want y'all to think that I'm coming after you guys. Because how I want to say it is this. If you go over there and make a friend, right, and you connect with somebody and they end up being your partner and you end up loving one another, and then you find out that the relationship is really abusive, if you have other people living with you while you're in this relationship, they get abused too. You know what I mean? So choose your choices wisely and understand that at the end of the day, choices can change. You can go over there and change your mind and let go of something if it's not working for you. But like whatever we decide to do, like if I decide to be with somebody, this person ends up being very abusive, right? And I'm staying with my mom, visiting my family in Africa or whatever, right? They're going to see that and they're going to also have that being affecting onto them. So it's not just me dealing with it, it's my loved ones dealing with it as well. And I think that when you're doing decisions and choices, you got to make sure that you use the right one. You also got to be very honest and frank. Like, look, this is what I want, this is how it's going to be. I can compromise there, this is what I'm looking for. So you're going to be letting go of a lot of unnecessary people. It's not going to be an easy choice to make, but it's something that you need to do. And I think also that's what may tie into your grieving, because you're grieving about things that you wish would work out but didn't. Independence. So we are focusing on what is good for us to have our space, as well as connecting with people. What's going to help you with your independence is moving on and getting into a better place mentally. So mental health is what we are working on. We are working on our independence and having faith in ourselves. So, all right. Emotions and empathy. So, at the end of the day, for April, May, and June, all right, for the next half of the year, you guys are really going to be working on standing on your own and doing your own thing, as well as focusing on your mental health. I am really happy, Virgo, that you guys are deciding to work on more of a healthy approach for you, especially since, like, I guess this year for a lot of us, not just me, but for you guys as well, it has been really fucking cathartic and it's been super fucking weird. Like, 2025, it's just been really bizarre. And I'm happy that you guys are focusing on standing for yourself, having confidence in your actions, working on letting go of old things, focusing on your mental health, and allowing yourself to have compassion and empathy for what you need as well as the needs of others. Y'all are really good at taking care of other people, but you can overdo it. And I think 2026 is going to teach you about boundaries and also limitations. Like, how much do I give when I can give? So sometimes when I'm not feeling it, right? When I'm feeling agitated or kind of low and I don't want to be around people, I like to go and do my own thing. Like, I'll go to my room. I may watch, Corey Kenshin or Lazy or Diden Vlogs and things of that nature on YouTube. And I just relax or I meditate or I ground myself or whatever and do some of that. And then when I feel like up to balance, then I can give my energy to other people. But if I'm on empty, right, and I'm on like -5 on my energy level, I'm not going to go over there and be the best person I can be to others because I'm tired. I have a lot of things in my head sometimes, and I got to be able to think it through logically without it taking me under. So I'm happy that you guys are focusing not only on your mental but emotional well being. That's really good. And I get why the theme of it is emotional detachment. You're letting go of things that don't bring you peace of mind, that are been holding you back, they're unhealthy. Good job. Good job. That's going to give you room to be able to take charge of your life and start seeing things. Because that's what the next 3 months is going to be. July, August, and September is all about leadership and exploration. Some of you guys are going to be taking a trip. Some of you guys are planning a vacation. Some of you guys are planning to try new things this year. And it's really helping. Like I said, emotions and empathy, right? I pulled it out. I did shuffle my cards. But yeah, achieving goals and rest from action. So you guys are definitely getting that money. You're able to go over there and do your own thing. All right, let's go, bro. Like, I think if y'all don't really watch regular show, y'all will not get that reference. Carrying burdens and responsibility and debt. I'm not even upset. Okay, because you guys have focused on letting go of toxicity for April, May, and June, you guys are welcoming. You're welcoming July, August, and September, which is also Virgo season, and it's Leo season too. You know what I mean? It's Leo season too, but we're talking about Virgos now. Leos had their time. I'm kidding with you, Leos, but yeah. Virgos, y'all are gonna be okay. Y'all are being compassionate, understanding about your needs and your feelings and what you want. You're gonna go over there. You saved enough money. You have money on the side coming in, so you can be able to enjoy yourself. And for carrying responsibilities and things, I don't think that's a big thing. I think as long as you manage your time and get things organized, you'll be okay. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. If you're gonna take a vacation, all right. I'm gonna take a vacation for like 2 months, right? I'm gonna go visit my family in the States. So at this time, I've already planned ahead. I got my tickets. I have my money that I'm gonna be using for this trip all set out, and I have extra money that I can go there and just treat myself or whatever. I'm visiting my family and I'm visiting my friends. So that means like 1 month I'm visiting in this state, and then the next month I'm gonna go because I've already planned ahead with my friend, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna be here for this amount of time. We can go over there and link up here and here, and I'm just gonna go explore around your state, man. Like, what do you got going on in here? Never been to this type of territory, but all right, all right. Time for new experiences and new things. It doesn't even have to be a month of a vacation. You guys could just be going for like a week or two, but you planned your vacation. You have the money and the means for this vacation or this new thing that you want to do. And it's okay. Don't get overwhelmed like you're not doing it. Yeah, you have the right to relax. You have the right to have fun. You have the right to enjoy your life. Don't live it in fear, bro. All right, hard work and reliability is what November and October and December is going to be. So the last 3 months of 2026. Stinginess and possessiveness. We are being very picky on who we put our time to, who we're spending time with, who are we giving ourselves to. All right. Our materialistic things, we are going to be very greedy about our stuff, and we're going to be saving our money and building up that finance. May Virgo, like I'm going to say it. Virgo, may you not be the kind of person that's out here trying to control people, because if that's where the stinginess and possessiveness is happening, it's not going to work. People are not meant to be controlled. Don't go out there trying to control everybody, brah. Organization, cleverness, and intelligence. I really feel like I'm saying we, us, and our a lot in this goddamn video. It's not even my reading, it's y'all's. I mean, it could be, but like, I try not to think about myself when I'm doing Virgo, so that way I don't end up reading my own thing and then just saying that it's for you guys, right? It's a weird conversation to have, but it's true. Anywho, so yeah, stinginess and possessiveness, I'm going to nip it quick. One, you're being very picky about who you spend your energy, time, and effort with. Okay, who's giving your inner circle. Control on people. Either you're with a controlling person or you're the controlling person. Don't come for me, Virgo. You all know that there's some Virgos who have to have it their way, or it is the highway, and they are stuck in their ways. No matter even if you try to help, they're just being rude. There's some unevolved Virgos, okay? Now, the evolved Virgos can allow people to help, that are able to kind of work with others. that are able to have a more calmer sense of it. But there are some Virgos that have to be in control of all situations all the time. I'm not even exposing you guys. You all know at least one. I know like two Virgos, and I'm one myself. I'm not the controlling type. I really don't think I'm that kind of person that has to be like, this is the way or else. Very rarely. I think on some things, sure. Every Virgo has that one thing, okay? That one thing. That's fine. You are entitled to the one thing. But I'm talking about everybody has to do exactly what you say no matter what. They're a dictator. Emphasis on the dick, bro. They're just one big dick. They're a turd. Anywho, if that is you, bro, stop. Don't be that way. Learn to let things be the way that it needs to be. You're not allowed to control people, and people are not allowed to control you. I'm gonna be honest, I don't wanna be controlled by somebody. You don't see me trying to control your every move and actions. Don't do me that way, bro. Don't do me dirty. So, anyways, other than controlling people and being picky with who we hang out with, money could be something you're stingy with for October, November, and December. You're working on saving money, you're putting things on the side, you're building it up, right? And obviously, your things. I'm really, really picky about my cards. I use them for reading. Sometimes I'm reading other people's things. And I don't want everybody's touching my stuff. Like, I don't know where your energy has been. I don't know if you guys really like me or not. I don't know what's going on. I have to cleanse it and get all purified and everything. And yeah. But if you ask and I have it, I'll most likely say, yeah, I can share. That's not a problem. I just don't like my stuff being rearranged because I have a certain method to the madness kind of thing going on. And so, yeah, I can understand if that's something that y'all be picky on. I really think is energy. I think for like a whole part of your 2026, baby, it is how you put your time, energy, and effort into it. All right. How all that works. Because if you're not putting your time, energy, and effort into something that's productive, what are we doing? What are we doing, baby? You got to be able to you got to be able to do the things that you want. At the same time, you got to be able to manage it. You know what I mean? So with organization, we are getting ourselves together. We are being smart, okay? So cleverness is a mental intelligence. Cleverness means I can look at a problem and I can see different ways to solve this problem. All right? Emotional intelligence, which is what everybody needs to learn. When I have kids, okay, whenever that cross that threshold, my babies are going to be taught emotional intelligence because there's a lot of people lacking empathy in this world. And I think a little emotional intelligence would make the world a little bit better. All right. So, what is that? Emotional intelligence is being able to understand somebody in an emotional way. So if you're having a bad day, okay, let's say that you have a friend, they're really cool and nice most of the time, and they had such a bad day. Their husband or wife died, their dog ran away, they lost their job, and they're risking of losing their home. They're under so much pressure and stress. They're coming to talk to you. So you see your friend walking down the sidewalk and a kid bumps into them, knocks your friend down. Your friend loses it, shouts at this kid, "How could you not see that I'm here?" Da, 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 da. And the kid cries. Okay? This is an example of emotional intelligence. You see all this outside your window. You step outside your house, you walk towards your friend. The kid cries. Your friend feels bad. Your friend tells the kid, "I'm sorry. It was an accident. You didn't do anything wrong. I apologize that I screamed at you. I'm sorry that I made you feel bad." The kid stops crying, gives your friend a hug, says it's okay, walks on. All right. Now this is this a real story? I don't think kids are out here hugging strangers like they used to back in the day, but like it could happen. This is just again hypothetical. All right. It's a maybe story. As you walk to your friend, you pick your friend up, right? You help them up and you look at them, "Are you okay?" Yeah, it's just I'm so stressed out. People who are stressed or going through tough times sometimes can come off short. And if somebody didn't know your friend like you know your friend, they would call that person mean. There's no right, they don't have the this, that, and the third. Depending on how you feel is how you're going to act. So if you're really stressed out and overwhelmed, you may be short tempered, agitated, close to breaking down, or I guess how the young bloods say, crash out, right? I just call it going, I would say ape shit, but at least like losing your shit, right? Some type of thing. If somebody's happy, right? They had a really good day, they're more likely to be generous and giving and all of that. Depending on how people feel is how they act. And some of us, a lot of us, are very good at pretending that we're okay when we're not. But it doesn't mean that we're not like a few steps away of losing it, or maybe we're having a great day or whatever it may be. Emotional intelligence, again, just to wrap it, right? Wrap it up, is all about understanding somebody and how they feel, as well as understanding how you feel. Because I'm empathetic and compassionate to myself, I can be compassionate and empathetic to others. I know how it is. And I can be understanding due to certain situations and stuff. My brother is like the king of emotional intelligence. That's just something my brother was just born with. Like he has that gift just to be very like empathetic, understanding, knowledgeable on how to put himself in other people's shoes and things. It's a beautiful gift. Now let's talk about physical intelligence. My mom's really good at body mechanics. Okay, she used to do healthcare work and nursing for like years, and so she learned how to do manual work, like hands-on work, and working with people without straining her body and making it hard. So, body mechanics is how to use your body in a wise way, in a smart way, without overdoing it. Okay? Let's talk about spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligence is very simple. If I have to feel small for you to feel tall, you're not worth my time at all. If you are a liar and deceiver and an untruthful person, I'm not wasting my time with you. I'm not going to go over there and put energy, effort, and time into something that makes no sense. If it's peace of mind, then I'll have it. Protect your peace of mind and always make sure that you have peace of mind. Peace of mind is over anything. Okay? Because if you don't have peace of mind, then it's not going to be easy for you. Now, at the end of this, you guys are going to walk up with independence and self reliance. Having confidence in yourself and being able to do your own thing doesn't mean that you're not going to have anybody. You're just going to be able to do your own stuff and have your support group, like your family, your friends, the real people with you, while you're also doing your own stuff. Okay? Now, we are going to be tackling your problems, your solution, and your theme. All right? Let me get a drink of this Miranda. Your solution is a loss of opportunity. So, most likely, we're getting rid of old things. What is the cause of this problem, bruh? What is the cause? Okay. So, new ideas is what's causing you to have loss of opportunity. Independence is what's going to help you. Organization, cleverness, and intelligence is what the outcome is going to be. And it's really funny that they said independence was your solution because it is. Doing your own stuff and having confidence in yourself is going to help you go after new opportunities and things because you're going to be like, okay, I believe in myself kind of energy. You're going to go after new stuff that are going to make you go after, like, here's the thing, because of new ideas, you can go after new opportunities. Opportunities that allow you to do your own thing and also have confidence in yourself to do them. As well as you're going to be organized in your mind, body, soul, and heart. You're going to be intelligent and use cleverness, right? As well as organize your surroundings. Like, I'm going to plan, this is what I'm going for, this is how it's going to be. It takes discipline to get a good schedule. My thing is that, like, I'm going to out myself because I'm not ashamed of this one. My weird thing as a Virgo, right? The one thing that I'm really picky about, if I get myself into a schedule, I can stick with it. It'll take a few days, I can get to it. Just as easy as I get into this schedule, right? I can get my ass out of the schedule. It just takes one thing to change in the schedule that I already set for myself, and then it goes like this. It's just done, right? So I feel like organization, getting yourselves together is a good thing. All right, independence. You're gonna get your independence by emotionally detaching, letting go of people. This work on your resentment, baby. Because I think the people you had to let go are the people that were really close to you and the people you had the most high hope for. And because they made you lose yourself while you were being with them, there's some anger towards that. Make sure that you drop them and cut them from your life and walk away, but work on not having the anger. You don't have to forgive them. They just don't deserve your rage. And I'm still working on that. Like, the person, like, here's the thing. There are a few people in this world, like, I have like 5 or 4 people in this world I really hate. If the zombie apocalypse broke loose and I had a chance to save their asses, the zombies just got a free meal. I'm not ashamed. I said what I said. I didn't stutter. I would let the zombies eat the people that I dislike. And I don't dislike people just to dislike people. I mean, the things that you did to me, the the bullshit that I had to come out of, right? The pieces I had to put myself back together again, over and over, due to your disastrous actions, decisions, and pain that you caused me, right? Yeah. Think again, brah. Think again, because, like, you don't have to forgive your enemies, but you cannot go over there and run on the rage. Learn how to let the anger go. Planning and preparing. Go after the things that you want. Plan and prepare for the step that you're hoping to get. Let go of the anger. Be okay with, detaching from people who are not worth your time. Now, what? That's the first one that I had. This is your theme. This is the one we're pulling out next. Discord, dishonor, and hollow victories. Hollow victories or bittersweet is a victory because you don't have to deal with the bullshit anymore, but it's hollow and bitter because you didn't want to come to that. Like, I let go of people, like, from my family, right? There's a lot of people in my family that I have cut off, not because I wanted to, but because it was the only way for me to have peace. And I gave them a lot of chances, okay? Chances after chances after chances. And it didn't work. I'm happy I don't have to deal with the craziness of it, right? But I also didn't want it to come to that. That's an example of bittersweet. What I said is true. There are people that have cut off my life that are supposed to be there by my side, but they chose not to. They chose to be full of shit. So, you know what I mean? We're here. Now, being able to work on not dealing with dysfunctional, crazy energy that makes no sense and disrespect, it's okay to walk away. You're going to be using emotions and empathy with yourself. You're going to be compassionate and filling your own cup, baby, as well as filling others. Before I try to feel others, I'm going to feel myself. I'm going to take care of my needs, and then I'm going to take care of other people's needs. And I'm going to give what I can, but I'm not going to overdo it. Okay, romance, childishness, and irresponsibility. Being carefree is going to help you. Understand that you're supposed to be in this life to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, you guys are going to have to see things for what they are. not what you want them to be, Virgo. Come in with clear sight. Okay. I'm not trying to put that finger out to like fuck you guys or whatever. But like, yeah, clear, clear sight, not rose quartz. When you see things in pink lenses, the red flags don't look like red flags. The red flags look like regular flags. The warning signs look like regular signs. And it's hard to sometimes see things for what they are because sometimes we want to see it for what we want it to be. And that's not going to work out. So make sure that you walk in this year with compassion, understanding to your needs, work on your mental health, and be okay to cut people out. You guys are going to be cutting a lot of people out of your lives. Okay, this card has popped up like 7 times. This card has popped up like 6 or 5 or 9 times. Okay, this has popped up 5 to 6. This one only once. This is the only time we've seen it. But there is like a lot of like, okay, I'm going to, here's the thing 2026, you're going to live your life, but you got to heal. Do not go in there thinking that you don't need to heal or you don't need to work on some things that you have been not. Like, here's the thing there's some things you have been avoiding and looking the other way because you don't like thinking about it, because it makes you uncomfortable to look at it. You have to be able to sit down, analyze the things that happened one thing at a time, forgive yourself for the action, work on your scars, your memories that haunt you, your feelings that tie you down, how your body reacts to certain stress when your mind and your heart are thinking and feeling a certain thing, right? Your spirit, how it reacts. Work on your trauma responses, okay? Forgiving yourself is the first step of healing. Working on letting go of your scars and understand where they're coming from is the second step. Scars, mental scars, are memories that are painful, ones that you avoid to look into. It's okay. Like, here's the thing, I get wanting to be a positive person. I do. I get that, if you look on the brighter side and you look on the sunny side, that's great. But you can still be a positive person and handle the tough things. I'm somebody that prefers to be both. I don't think I'm an entirely positive person. I think I try my best to the best of my ability, right? So while I'm forgiving myself while I'm healing, I forgive my choices. I did things that I thought was right. I did things either out of fear or I did things out because it was the only option that I had. Nobody was in that room, in that situation with you, making these decisions. You made the decisions for yourself, more or less, right? And so forgiving ourselves is something that we don't really teach, but it's something that I teach a lot. Forgive yourself. If anybody deserves forgiveness, you do. You forgive you. That's what forgiveness is for you to forgive yourself. Now, when you are able to forgive other people, that means that their action no longer bothers you. And just because you can't forgive other people for their crap doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't. I don't care what anybody says, bro. I don't care. I do not care if somebody's going to come up to me or say on my live, like, oh my goodness, you said that you're a spiritual person. Spiritual people forgive others. No, we don't. Correction, some spiritual people are forgivers and they can forgive everybody who has trespassed against them and all of that. More power to you. I'm not even saying this to be disrespectful or rude. I really genuinely mean that. Like, look, kudos to you to have that heart. That's not an easy thing to do. I don't have it. I don't have the forgiveness anymore. I used to, bro. I used to be so forgiving and so kind, but I got tired. And I found out that a lot of things that I thought I forgave, I really didn't. I just said that I did and forced myself to because that's what I thought good people do. You can be a good person and not forgive your enemies. Above all, like, if anybody deserves forgiveness, we deserve to forgive ourselves for the actions that we've done. That's your first step. Your second step is your mental scars. There are some memories that haunt me, and I work through them every day. There are some things that tie me down, and I work on my best to try not to get too much, right? My memories can be a mental scar. My emotions and how I feel about a certain situation, thing, or person, that can be an emotional scar. A physical scar can be something that is physically seen or how your body reacts to it, okay? And a spiritual scar is something that affects your soul. That a piece of you deep, deep down inside is still affected by whatever happened. Step three of healing, okay? Work on your trauma responses. Understand about the flight, fight, fawn, freeze, flop responses. Learn your trauma responses, learn your triggers. Work on your PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. You see this for police officers, firefighters. You see this for people who have stressful jobs that see trauma and drama all day. You see this in domestic abuse. You see this in sexual assault. You see this in narcissistic, sociopath, and psychopath relationships. People who've been through the gutters and been through the roughness of it all, right? Okay, work on it. You can have child post traumatic stress disorder. You can have childhood trauma that has affected you in your adult or late teen or early adult life. It happens, man. There's a lot of things I have to go through and I have to work past, and it's not easy. And I think a lot of the anger that comes with healing, especially when you're working on that, is that the people that put you through this, right? The people who abused you, the people who put you through the decisions, like here's the thing, because they decided to do something, their actions and their choices made you go through all this trauma and abuse. They put you in this situation whether they knew it or not, and you will not get like you're never going to get reconciliation. A lot of times you're not going to get the apology that you deserve, and if you do get the sorry, it may not even be a genuine sorry. Telling yourself that you're safe all the time, working on trying to be secure all the time and be your person to go to all the time is exhausting and annoying, but it's part of healing. This experience made you strong. It sucks. And I promise you guys, a lot of y'all are going to hear me be like, oh, so you think that I should have gone through all this trauma so I could get strong? No. I wish none of you guys or myself had to go through those things. But we did. And whether we like it or not, we are the kind of person now that would stand up for the little us or the one that was going through all this madness in the first place, right? We're the person that right here and right now would protect that person. I would have protected baby me. And I most likely would have protected other people who are in the same situation. I know what it's like. I know how it feels. I know how difficult it is to lift yourself up every morning and every day and tell yourself that it's okay. When reality of it, you don't even feel all that good. The bad days are like storms that nobody can see, and the good days are like sunshine and rainbows and lollipops. But healing, no matter on the good or the bad days, is still healing. You're still progressing. You know what I mean? I'm still working on trying to be a more healthier, happier version of myself. And I think where I'm at, I found somewhat peace. Yeah, I have my bad days, and the bad days feel like really shitty, but I remember how far I came. And you're going to remind yourself how far you came on this journey. Look how far you've came, guys. Look how far you made it. You didn't think you were going to make it this far, but here you are. And you can still keep on going. Like, you can keep on going, bro. You can. You're a lot stronger and tougher than you know. And no, some people are not meant to be with you on this 2026 ride. That's their loss, not your fault. They decided to do bullshit. Like, think of it like this: you played stupid games and now you got stupid prizes, okay? I'm not the one to tell you to play stupid games. You out here trying to go over there and be cute and fuck around and find out, and look what you got. Looking like Boo Boo the Fool, bro. Really. Don't let them go over there and make you feel bad. They'll go over there and be like, it's all your fault. No, it's not. You did this to yourself. Sleep in the bed that you made. I'm at that point where I'll just tell people that. Anyways, some subscriptions and things have ran out, okay? Some people are not going to be able to resubscribe to you. Now, the other 3 steps of healing is super fun. We have 6 steps in total, okay? So, forgiving yourself, working on your scars, focusing on your trauma responses. 4, you're going to be blocking people that are not worth your time, okay? You are going to go over there and do your own thing. Be your own person and connect with people who are worth your time. 5, we're loving ourselves again. We're figuring out who we are. It's been a really long time since we got to know ourselves. It's now time to get to know that person that you always been and will become and will grow into and love all versions of that person. Step 6, again, higher connections. Because we're confident in ourselves now, we're going to go over there and connect with other people. You're also going to work and do some shadow work for this coming year. Yeah. All in all, you guys are going to be fine. You guys are going to have so much opportunities and money coming your way. Save your money, work it wise, but also heal and enjoy yourself. All right. As always, guys, slay the day, be happy, and be gay. Peace out. Bye. And if you're interested in your own reading, please look at my descriptions below. 25K Uganda shillings for Airtel, MTN, or mobile money, and $20 if you have Zelle or PayPal for a 2026 reading. I have my social media on the bottom of my description. So stay safe.